This physiology of it sometimes it's nasty.
Yes.
That's a funny idea to think about Christians having nooses.
It is, isn't it?
Oh, well, okay, so can I tell her about Vlad the Impaler?
No, it's irrelevant, but you can tell her about why. No, don't. That's so gross. We can talk about... No, I don't want to think about it.
After we're done with this.
Okay.
Yes, but how about
Mrs.
Monty
Lyle.
Python? We talk about the... Did we ever show him the Monty Python scene?
I tried to get bored.
Which one?
The Meaning of Life.
Meaning of Life?
Yeah, he got bored and he wanted to go away. It's like, this is the comedy gold. This is classics.
Yeah.
So we got to wait until his comedy
But I will-
sophistication goes up.
I do want to give some credit to Mr. Deity.
Oh.
Do you know Mr. Deity?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
MG.
Let me see this. I want to see her.
This
This is something you should know about.
Okay.
It's terrific.
It's terrific, and this helped Anton see the ludicrousness of religion. So he is, I forgot his name. You know his name. I'm tired today. He is friends with Dawkins and a lot of the other atheists. He calls himself a foreman, which is a former Mormon. So he was a Mormon, and he talks about his own personal break with the church. And he is a comedian in a sense. He's a writer, and he has his own channel called Mr. Deity, in which he plays God. And his girlfriend, which was his wife, is Lucy, so she's Lucifer.
Okay.
But she's
Oh, wait, hold on,
Lucy.
stop. You're giving away the series. Kind of the background is there's a guy out there, and his name doesn't really matter so
I know,
much.
I'm trying to remember.
But he's got really, really high production values, and he's a very clever writer.
very clever.
And he also uses satire, very, very high.
Yes,
So
that's
he-
the best way to
So
say
the
it.
idea is that he's like Mr.
Satirical.
Deity, but he talks about the Bible story and how it works. But then they show him in a certain light. And rather than spoil it, I think you should
Okay,
look
I'll
it
watch
up.
it.
Yes.
I'll look it up
You
and watch
must
it.
link to it.
Have you shared it with your son?
Oh, yes.
It's
So
hilariously
that is
funny.
great. And one of the best ones that I just shared with people in my lab is the Trinity.
The Trinity.
The Trinity. If you're going to see just one,
Okay.
you should see that one.
All right.
Okay? Just send that one. And then you might get hooked and just see all the others.
right.
But it was a good way to
I
instruct.
also sent you Jesus and Mo.
Oh, thank you.
And this one is actually apropos for today, so I'll let you
All right.
read that
I will look
later.
at this. So how do you deal with proselytizing, if it ever comes up, or have you encountered
Oh,
that?
it comes up and I say, no, thank you, or I'm not interested, or a lot of times it happens during the day and I'm working from home, and a lot of times I'm on a meeting and I'll come down and I'll go, I'm not going to interrupt my meeting to tell somebody no thanks. It's pretty clear I'm on the phone, I'm having a meeting.
Great.
Or I'll say, or I'm not interested. Yeah, just try to be polite. That's pretty much been it for decades.
It's much less now than it used to be.
It's less than it used to be. When I lived in Minnesota one time, I remember somebody came by. It's the short sleeve white shirts, bicycles, and all that.
Jehovah's Witness?
Right. They came by, and they always have a junior and a senior, and the junior wanted to engage with me, and I was going to talk to him about things, and the senior could tell that this would not go good for them, because I'd probably plant ideas in his mind, and there's no way they were going to convince me, and so he kind of pulled him along gently, and I let him go. And I thought, what am I going to do, right? It's like, and I don't really want to have that discussion with anybody, because it's kind of boring, because it's going to be like, I've got other things going on in my life, and it's not like this is the top of my list of things to talk about.
Well, do you ever feel any pressure to align with your religion?
No.
No. Have you ever had, I guess one thing, what do you think people around here think of atheists? Like, you mentioned that you avoid the term.
Well, I think it's like culturally, it's like there's an expectation that you're Christian or that you're religious, and so it's like if you have an expectation and somebody's not, you're like, what? Huh? Like Scooby? I think a lot of it is that way, and I think that's more of it than anything. I don't think it's so much anti. It's more like surprise. It's like the concept is odd to them.
Well, I think that there is some judgment from some people.
Well, some people, of course, that's everywhere.
But I think for the most part, Brian is right. But there are instances when you feel that
Transcription, notice that?
Yes, Brian was
There was a
right.
gasp.
I know. Brian was right. And so you have to measure the person who you're talking to determine whether you feel like being judged, if they're the judgmental type or not. And basically, you asked how do you deal with religion and going to school, etc., in different areas. Like in Los Angeles, nobody spoke about religion. You just don't. You talk about everything else.
Uh-huh.
And people's religions were private. It was private. So it's just not private here at all.
Yeah, it's more the. It's more
And
of a
so
cultural
people
thing.
wanted to believe in other things. That was totally fine. But it's not something people talked about.
Uh-huh.
And so that I kind of miss. And
I loved Austin because Austin was just so accepting. I mean, he wanted to be a hard driving businessman with a BMW, and